Thanks to the support as a channel member, Comrift. As you know, boys and girls, we've made it to the championship after an epic race to the playoffs, a lovely day out at Wembley, and then quite the transfer special yesterday. Today's the day we find out if we're good enough to compete in the championship. What better time to celebrate than the further development of our piece of commemorative non-league to legend art that's being done by Westwood Table Soccer. As you can see, this is the Peterborough United Subbuteo figure being created here to go with the Kettering one that we already had created previously. Remember, at the end of the series, I'm going to be giving away the finished artwork to one of you. I don't know how yet, but we'll figure it out. And in the meantime, I urge you to go over and subscribe to Westwood Table Soccer and just get involved in all the cool little Subbuteo painting shenanigans and whatnot that goes on over there. These things look really cool. Look at it. How do you get a paintbrush that small? It's baffling, really. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 8 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games in the Championship. We're at home against Middlesbrough and Leeds. They sound like two rather tricky games. Middlesbrough are supposed to finish 12th. Leeds, newly relegated from the Premier League, aiming to finish 4th. Yeah, this is going to be a real test of how good our quite risky summer transfer policy was. We were given money to spend, £12 million specifically, and didn't really spend it, only spending that's last season, spending £1.4 million on players, mostly young players with potential. Today is a big test, and it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 10 games before I'm really sure who my best team is, because we've signed, particularly in the attack, a lot of new players. But this is the 11 that we're going with today, and I'm particularly excited about new boy Simon Patton. He's our new number 10. We took a massive gamble signing him before he was even properly scouted, based purely on the fact that he's 18, was already an international, and was quick. Let's see if the gamble pays off. And the rest of the team, we've got new boy Moulden in goal, a back four of Devine, Anderson, Sykes and Lawrence, Taylor and McCormick in midfield, new captain Luke McCormick in midfield there. A very familiar attacking midfield three of Solomon Otterbor, returning Sammy Schmodix, who's now fit again, allowing us to return back to this system, although to be honest, we've got 4 or 5 players who can play there now. We shouldn't have to go back to defensive nonsense. And of course, Lyndon Gooch, one of the heroes of the playoffs on the right, and then our new striker, Simon Patton, up front. Lot of eyes on him today. We've sold our highest earning player and top scorer for the last 3 seasons, Johnson Clark-Harris, to gamble on a youngster. It kind of is the Peterborough way, but it's always a bit scary. You never quite know. So let's see if he's got what it takes to cut it in the Championship. And I think that's the thing with it being in the Championship as well. It makes it double scary with bells on. If we were in League One, I'd feel a lot more confident throwing an 18-year-old in there who's never played in England before. But he's making his debut in the Championship with a number 10 on his back. That's pressure. That's definitely pressure for a team that's supposed to be in a relegation battle. But we have the first highlight of the game. It's Gooch, who's just thrown it directly into the hands of the Middlesbrough goalkeeper. That's not a particularly effective long throw there, is it? But luckily, their goal kick was just as ineffective. And we get the ball back with Gooch on this right-hand side again. Gooch charging forward. The space is just opening up for Lyndon Gooch here. And his shot is just straight into the arms of Blackman. And, I mean, that's twice now Gooch has just given the ball to him relatively easy. I wonder if they're friends. And we've lost Otterbor already. Okay. That wasn't part of the script. I guess we'll bring on one of the many players who we signed in the summer who can play out there. Casey Palmer can come on and play on the left-hand side. He'll slot into the same role as an inverted winger. I've set up the personalised positions for all of the new signings. So he does slot straight into the same role that Otterbor was playing, but we know how important Otterbor can be to the way we play. It's a lovely pass from Taylor to open up the defence there. Palmer couldn't quite get to it quickly enough, but there's McCormick, our new captain. I mean, he's this level's Alfie Payne, isn't he? He came in last year. He was a hero of the playoffs. And he's doing it again in the Championship. How was this? This time last year, this man didn't have a club. And now he's captain of a Championship side and scoring on the first day of the season. It's a proper Cinderella story for the 24-year-old. And it's 1-0 in the Battle of the Boroughs, even though they're not a borough, they're bruh. Peterborough, Middlesbrough. There's only one borough in the Football League. Scarborough don't exist anymore, do they? I'll double check. I'm pretty sure they don't. Gooch has won the ball back here and is charging forward. Patton's got himself in space in the middle. Gooch doesn't need him. It's 2-0. That was an unexpectedly excellent finish from Lyndon Gooch, who I wasn't sure of last year. He played his way into form as the season went on, now playing in a much more attacking system, and he's gone for it in a more attacking way than he ever did before. Patton was really slow making it into the area, and Gooch has just decided to go it alone, grabbed himself a goal. We're 2-0 up against Middlesbrough here, and this is already going better than I ever could have hoped for, apart obviously from the injury to Otterball. But we've got another attack here. It's a free kick on the edge of the area. It's going to be Casey Palmer to take, and he has scored it. What a way to announce yourself at a new club. A beautiful free kick. And it's 3-0 to Peterborough at half-time on the first day of the new season. And albeit very briefly, right now we're top of the Championship, which is nuts. I'm happy. I'm very happy. My transfers are vindicated already. I don't care how the rest of the season goes. The transfers are officially vindicated already. I've got to give them the outstretched arms. You're lovely, lovely boys. And hopefully we don't mess it up in this second half. We just need to update this to give us Championship latest scores, because for some reason it doesn't update itself anymore. Oh dear, that's poor from the new keeper, Malden. He's going to want to have a word of himself about that. We have got a couple of decent goalkeepers, and we've got Baxter as well, who is he's sat down there on the bench, and both of them are Championship quality, albeit not like upper Championship, but they're Championship quality goalkeepers. If we get too much of this from Malden, I mean, it has taken a deflection, but it's not a particularly devastating one. And I do kind of expect a little bit better from my goalkeeper. But he's a youngster on his debut. We'll let him have one. If it starts to happen more frequently, then we know we've got another goalkeeper there to come in and take his place if needed. Middlesbrough definitely more up for it in this second half than they were in the first half. And I think it's probably time for us to switch a few things up here. Fitness-wise, we look fine, but I am just going to bring on some fresh legs in certain positions. Richards can come on in midfield. I think we're going to try one of the other strikers. Keon Etete is going to come on up front. Patton, I mean, he's 18 and it's his debut. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I hoped he would be a dream debut, but long term, I imagine he'll be a right winger anyway. Let's see if Etete is going to be any better as the man leading the line as we concede our second of the game. And it feels like it's all drifting away from us. Ipswich, who came up with us last year, are 4-0 up over West Brom. They're having a much nicer time than I am right now. And I'm wondering if we should have switched back to the 4-3-3 when that first goal went in and just decided to dig in and defend, because we know we're good at that. But perhaps not so much when we're committing loads of men forward and pushing on the way we are right now. But there's 5 minutes to go. I'm not making that change now. We've only one goal difference. It's madness. Let's just hope we cling on, and we have. But wowzers, in the second half, did we learn a little bit of a lesson? I want the Jekyll and Hyde team talk. It's not on there. So has that one been removed this year? We'll just give them the well done. But I would like to just warn them about what went wrong in that second half. But a win's a win. It's 3 points on the board in the Championship. We'll take that all day long. And Solomon Otterball is going to be out for a while. And I worry for him because there's a queue of players who can come in and take his place, and someone's going to get a bit of an opportunity. There you go. Apparently I show transfer guile. Nice. I swooped Simon Patton. That bodes well, the fact he's been mentioned on there. So just one change for the Leeds games then. Palmer coming in on the left-hand side for the injured Otterball. What's Wutug mean? Pleased with how teammates' promises going. I don't know who have promised. I'm glad it's pleasing McCormick. What's this? Happy with his manager's treatment of Luca Connell. Oh yeah, I ruined that boy when he decided he wanted to get a grumpy on because I signed more than one player in his position over the summer. But we are giving Patton another try today. Hopefully he ruins Leeds. Wouldn't that be nice? He absolutely ruined him. If not, we've got other players we can try there. And we're going to pump fists. We are the underdogs. This is probably another one of those games where we should be dropping back to the 4-3-3. But we're not gonna. We're going to try and win the game. Devine with the corner finds Anderson, and we've scored early again. And it's Anderson with his first goal of the season. We know how much of a goal threat both of these defenders are. We saw it last year. We're seeing it again already this year. It's 1-0 to Posh We're beating Leeds. They were in the Premier League last year. This time last year, I was managing my second game in the Football League and Leeds were in the Premier League. And here we are, head against them in the league and top of the Championship once again, albeit briefly again, probably. But still, we'll take it. Malden plays it out to Sykes. Look at this, we're knocking the ball around. We didn't do much of this last year. Devine, back to Sykes, forward to Patton. That's a little bit better from Patton, although the pass was a little bit wayward. But Devine is on the charge down this left-hand side. Tries to cross. It ends up back with Palmer, though. Devine's going to get another opportunity for the cross. And now a third opportunity. Gives it to McCormick, who slides it into Palmer. It's back with Devine again. Cross opportunity number 4. Still doesn't take it. Number 5 doesn't take it. Are you going to cross the ball? Number 6. There's the cross. It's threatening as well. Do that a little earlier. But the ball is cleared out. Why was he so against crossing there? Is he afraid of the youngster in the middle that we've not really seen anything from yet? Because he's not going to score goals if we don't give him chances. Gooch with an in-swinger, looking for Patton. In fact, Anderson intercepts and grabs his second of the game, and it's 2-0 to us. We have picked up an injury to Devine, which we probably need to deal with. We do have Lawrence, Mr. Utility Man, who can play anywhere across the defence and midfield, who is ideal for situations like this. We might even have a left-back on the bench. I'm not an expert in where we might have left-backs. Who do you think I am? A man who picks his own bench? Crazy talk. What have we got down on this bench? He can play left back, actually. Is he going to be a better option than Lawrence out there? He actually is. We'll play we'll play Joel there. And he'll be fine. We brought him in to be a right back. He can make his debut as a left back. He'll be all right. I really hope. Who have Leeds got on the right wing? Nobody any good, I hope. Devine's still on the pitch at the moment. What's gone on there? Why is that substitution not gone through? Anderson across to Sykes. Sykes playing it forward, looking for Patton, who does really well to kind of let the ball over him and turn and chase, but couldn't quite get there quickly enough, which is a surprise because of how quick he is. McCormick's in again. Palmer, fancy pants cross, and Patton's there with his first goal in a posh shirt. Casey Palmer did very, very well. He's looking like a good signing. Simon Patton's looking like a good signing. And for the second game of the season, we're 3-0 up at London Road in the first half of a football match in the Championship. Let's hope today's second half isn't as silly. I mean, we might have to nip that in the bud because it wasn't necessary. He could have just done a normal person cross, but it was effective this time. Might just have a little word with him and say, look, can we just, maybe we'll cross like a normal person? Do we think we can do normal person things? We're not always going to be thumping a team that's just got relegated from the Premier League. But 3-0 up, transfer policy. We can do transfers around here, boys and girls. That's what we do. If only I was as good at tactics as I am at transfers. Utterly unstoppable. To be fair, without being able to do any transfers last year, we got a team promoted. So I'm not even having that. Don't diss yourself in that manner, Kev. You're lovely. Right, McCormick is tired, so we are going to take him off. We'll bring on Taylor Richards. Why not? Richards is another one of these utility players we brought in the summer who can just play anywhere in the midfield. Today he's going to play as a box-to-box midfielder, and he's going to like it. With 3-0 up, we've got to try things. Any of the attacking midfield 3 could probably come off here and should. They're all tired. Who's having the worst game? None of them are having a particularly poor game. We'll take off Schmodix because he's the one recovering from an injury. Wes Burns can come in there, and then we'll just swap these all around. Palmer can drop into that spot. Gooch can go out there. Burns can make his debut out on the right wing, and he's going to be taking the throw as well. That is a long, low bullet throw. Has he got that as an instruction? We might have to keep an eye on that and maybe turn the long throws on that side because they're always threatening, the long, low bullet throws or however they're described in game. I could have a look at his profile and would see how they're described, but I'm probably going to forget when this highlight ends and then none of us will ever know. The Leeds player here is just running around all over the place. And I'm happy for him to do that. If he wants to dribble horizontally across the pitch when they need 3 goals in the last 15 minutes, go for it. You can do that all day long. We'll have a nice sit down while you run back and forth and do some sprint exercises or something with the ball. It's fine. We've scored 3 goals on an XG of 0.96, by the way. What a contrast to last year when we couldn't score goals. We're now an attacking threat. And we've stayed solid at the back based on that performance. Oh, we're having fun. We're having loads of fun. Beautiful. Top of the... Well, we're not top. We're third in the Championship. We're going to the Premier League. Decision made now. We're getting promoted this year. We probably won't get promoted this year, but we can try. We shouldn't try. We'll be fine. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.